resolved.
Innocent or guilty, criminal or citizen, that could get them anytime for any crime. Say, look, if it say, sir, did you see such and such do such and such and such? Oh, wait a minute, only time, the only time.
Only one place in the federal guidelines where you can have 10 machines and get 1 year of community service and 1 year incarcerated.
See what I'm saying? But they talking about, they try to use that I need to order protection, but why it feels like I'm the out here then? If I needed protection, you needed protection, and your protection gone.
After 50 brought that Crime Stoppers clip back into the spotlight, T.I. wasted no time firing back. He went live with comedian K. Dub Walker and later pulled up to the Big Facts podcast, determined to set the record straight. He made it crystal clear that he never, under any circumstances, gave law enforcement information on anybody. In his eyes, that PSA wasn't a confession. It was a calculated legal move. His lawyers had set it up while he was facing serious federal time.
To everyone listening to it, is an awesome song. Listen carefully. Actually, you don't have to even listen that carefully. Yeah. There's a line in there directed at another rapper in the game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What line? What rapper is on?
It was a line that has you questioning that you have, is it true you have the best lawyers in the game?
I feel like I do.
Okay.
That was great.
And you asked them a question that if you got caught with 10 weapons in your car, you would have seen 10 years, maybe 9.
What makes you feel like there's a line to a rapper?
It just seemed to be very coincidental with the timing of things that are going on.
Trying to smooth over public perception is part of his court strategy. But in hip-hop, it's not about what the paperwork says, it's about how the streets see it. And once that snitch label sticks, shaking it off is nearly impossible. 50 knew exactly how dangerous that perception could be, and he used it like a weapon every single time. He laughed, posted memes, and told his followers that the math just don't add up. And honestly, a lot of people agreed.
Life, you see a snitch, slap him when you see him, knock his nose off. So the next time I'm out, instead of asking for a picture like a little hoe ass, come on, knock my nose out if you think I'm a snitch. Come on, quit smiling in my face trying to get in my section. Don't play with me, think you're talking to. Play with your name. King never gave no information to get anybody in no. But now time with no police. If I am working with a police, it'll be to get him to shoot. She talking about play.
It's rare to see someone caught with military-grade weapons walk away with a year and some community service. Fans pointed out that even a single illegal gun could put someone behind bars for a decade. So how did Tip breeze through with 30+ weapons on the record? That question alone gave 50 all the ammunition he needed to keep poking at T.I. every chance he got. He even hinted that T.I. missed out on the role of Davis McClain in Power because of their tension.
When they want to try, like, even for me personally, my character, they would try to attack my character. They'll say he a rat or he just a snap.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is ask him who I told on.
Paperwork.
I ain't never told on no in my life.
Yeah.
In the Prem situation, look at this case. It'll tell you who told on.
Right.
My name ain't in that case.
A claim Tip denied, but that's classic 50. He knows how to throw shade in ways that stick whether they're true or not. Still, Tip wasn't backing down. He tried flipping the heat into a marketing play, pushing hard for that versus battle. Every insult became promotion. Every accusation turned into a dare. He wanted 50 to come outside musically instead of hiding behind old scandals. Tip kept jabbing at 50's catalog too, saying Get Rich or Die Trying was his only classic and clowning the rest of his discography as irrelevant. That move was smart. While 50 was stuck mocking the past, T.I. was flipping it right back at him, saying his music hadn't been hot for years. By going on offense, Tip avoided looking cornered. He made it clear, if 50 wanted smoke, then let the fans decide whose hits really stand the test of time.
I said, how you feel when them New York and shit like 50 and all them niggas be trying to do all of those?
I'ma tell you something. When you're fighting a man with no arms, expect to get kicked.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-8477. 577 tips. Channel 2, community coverage.
But 50 wasn't biting. Instead of stepping onto the versus stage, he kept hammering the narrative that T.I.'s credibility had a permanent stain. Then came another spark that took things to a whole new level. In November 2020, after the tragic passing of Chicago rapper King Von, T.I. posted a message that changed the tone of everything. He told outsiders to stop coming to Atlanta and bringing their problems, basically saying, handle your beefs in your own city. Maybe he thought he was promoting peace, but the timing couldn't have been worse. Von's family and fans were deep in grief, and to them, Tip's words felt cold, like he was distancing Atlanta from the tragedy instead of showing support. King Von's sister Kayla was furious. She blasted T.I. for inserting himself into such a sensitive situation. And you already know 50 wasn't about to let that slide. He reposted her words and directly told T.I. to chill out, calling him out for being out of line during a moment of mourning. For 50, this was just more proof that T.I. had a habit of saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, making himself look bad without anyone else lifting a finger. Fans picked up on it too, seeing this as another messy chapter in their feud, one that went far beyond old legal rumors. At this point, the beef wasn't just about accusations or attention anymore. It was about legacy. Both of these men are giants in hip-hop. 50 built a global empire through music, business, and TV. T.I. carved out his throne in the South, pushing trap music into the mainstream and holding it down as a cultural figure. So when 50 calls him fake, it's not just a diss. It's a direct challenge to everything T.I. represents. And when Tip claps back by roasting 50's music career, he's basically saying, you're not the heavyweight you think you are anymore. It's pride versus pride, ego versus ego, with the fans stuck in the middle like referees at a never-ending fight night. Some ride with 50, claiming he's only voicing what's been whispered about T.I. for years. Others side with Tip, pointing out that 50 has his own skeletons and loves to deflect by attacking others. The truth probably sits somewhere in between, but one thing is crystal clear. Neither man has any plans to bow out of this battle. Every time it seems like things might finally cool down between them, something new comes out of nowhere to keep the flames alive. An old video pops up again, a random podcast clip goes viral, or a petty Instagram post kicks off another round of shots. It's almost like neither of them really wants peace, because deep down, they both know this back and forth keeps their names hot in a game where people get forgotten fast.
50 had taken the bait.
Second, I don't want to do it injustice.
You use real life situations to create something that's entertaining without being specific. That's entertainment to me. Like if I had an issue, when have you known me to be indirect with an issue?
Oh, you're pretty direct.
Right, so if I had a problem with any artist, trust me, they would know. You see what I'm saying? When I take it and I write that, it's because a lot of people think that. Yeah. And they're not saying it because they're cowardly people. You see what I'm saying? So when you write it and you put it there and you leave it and say, watch, let me watch and see what happens. And there's so much controversy around it, you didn't say anything. Then you go, see, they think that. Yeah. They just won't say it to them because they're a bunch of punks.
What really keeps this 50 Cent versus T.I. feud breathing is their shared refusal to let the other walk away without scars. Whenever T.I. tries to clean up his image, 50 finds a new way to twist the knife. Take, for example, when T.I. clearly stated that he never snitched, never testified, never passed information to law enforcement. 50 didn't even bother debating the details. He just threw that Crime Stoppers clip up again, letting the image alone do the damage. That's the brilliance of 50's style. He doesn't need a courtroom to prove anything. He just plants seeds in people's minds and lets the internet water them. Memes, reposts, sly captions. He knows exactly how to stir up doubt without saying too much. Meanwhile, T.I. is constantly in defense mode, jumping on interviews, Instagram lives, and podcasts to explain his side. He said over and over that the PSA wasn't about cooperating with authorities, it was about fulfilling legal obligations to avoid a harsher sentence. But here's the real issue. In hip-hop, when it comes to snitching accusations, forgiveness is rare even if there's no actual paperwork. Just the idea that you might have cut a deal can stain your name permanently, and 50 knows it. That's why he doesn't let up. It's the perfect pressure point to keep T.I. off balance while reminding the entire culture that he's still the top instigator in the game. And this back and forth doesn't just say a lot about them. It says something deeper about hip-hop itself. For decades, authenticity has been the lifeblood of the streets. You can stack hits, sell out arenas, even star in movies, but if the streets believe you violated the code, none of it matters. That's why the Crime Stoppers PSA still hits a nerve almost 2 decades later. It's not just a video anymore, it's a symbol, a reminder of how fast your image can flip overnight. Fans still compare T.I.'s sentencing to other rappers who faced similar charges but ended up sitting down for 10 years or more. They look at his one-year sentence like some kind of magic trick. Maybe it was sharp legal work, maybe it was something else, but to many, it never fully sat right. On the flip side, not everyone buys 50's narrative. Some people point fingers right back at him, saying he's got his own questionable history. A few even flip the script completely, calling 50 a mouse and suggesting he might have had his own behind-the-scenes deals that just never came to light. And that's exactly what makes this feud so addictive to watch. Both of them hold serious power, both have influence, and both have complicated pasts. Neither one is squeaky clean enough to completely expose the other without risking some dirt flying back in their direction. That's why the feud lives in this constant loop of perception versus proof. T.I. keeps pushing for a versus battle, saying if 50 really wants to settle this, then do it through music. He wants to let the hits talk, to show the world that his catalog still stands tall. But 50 keeps swerving the battle, knowing that the spectacle of the beef itself might be more valuable than the showdown. Every time the Crime Stoppers clip goes viral again, every time T.I. explains himself, every time fans argue about who's really solid, the narrative gets bigger. And honestly, maybe that's the whole point. In this era, beef can sell almost as much as music. Both of them benefit from keeping this war alive. 50 gets to remind everyone that he's still the coldest instigator in hip-hop, always a step ahead when it comes to playing the game. T.I. gets to prove that he won't fold, no matter how many times his past gets dragged back into the spotlight. Their egos are too big, their legacies too deep, for either to bow out quietly. Whether you think T.I. is guilty of breaking the code or you believe he's just the victim of a never-ending smear campaign, one thing is certain: this feud isn't disappearing anytime soon. This is hip-hop history in real time. Two legends clashing not just for pride, but for how they'll be remembered when it's all said and done. It's not just about music anymore. It's about legacy, perception, and who controls the story.